Our lesson today, combining sentences, adjectives and adverbs. Adjectives, words that modify or describe nouns. Two sentences that tell about the same person, place, or thing can be combined by adding an adjective to one sentence. For example, Tom goes to a basketball game. It is great. We want to combine these two sentences. What is great? The basketball game. Because the basketball game is great, we're going to use that adjective great and put it in front of basketball game. Tom goes to a basketball game. It is great. Tom goes to a great basketball game. Adjectives must come in front of the nouns that they are describing. In this case, there's only one possible correct answer when you're taking an adjective and putting it back into the first sentence. Adverbs. Words that modify or describe verbs. Two sentences that tell about the same action can be combined by adding an adverb to one sentence. Example, Tom fetches his jacket. He fetches it first. We want to combine those sentences, but we notice that there is a same action. What is that same action? The fetching. He fetches his jacket. So when we look at those two sentences, first tells you when he fetches it. So Tom fetches his jacket first. Now with adverbs, it is possible to have the adverb be in different parts of the sentence, depending on what you choose. So let's look at some more possible right answers for this. We could put it at the beginning. First, Tom fetches his jacket. Or we can do Tom first fetches his jacket. There's more than one possible correct answer when it comes to taking that adverb from the second sentence and putting it back into the first sentence. Let's practice. The students prepare. They prepare excitedly. How do we combine these? The students excitedly prepare. Excitedly is an adverb telling how the students prepare. So there's more than one way. The students prepare excitedly. Excitedly, the students prepare. We get out the blankets. The blankets are old. How do we combine these? We get out the old blankets. Old is an adjective telling us what kind of blankets we're talking about. The teacher reads the book. It is the first book. How do we combine these? The teacher reads the first book. First in this sentence is telling us which book, so it is an adjective. Only one way to do this one correctly. Mom packed the basket. She did it carefully. How do we combine them? Carefully, Mom packed the basket. Carefully is an adverb, helping us know how she packed it. So let's look at the other correct answers. Mom carefully packed the basket. Mom packed the basket carefully. The group sat by a tree. The tree was large. How do we combine these? The group sat by a large tree. Large is describing what kind of tree we're talking about, so it goes in front of tree. Everyone helped eat the food. It was delicious. How do we combine them? Everyone helped eat the delicious food. Delicious tells us what kind of food it was. An adjective. A storm began at the picnic. It began suddenly. How do we combine it? A storm began at the picnic suddenly. Or a storm suddenly began at the picnic. Or a storm began suddenly at the picnic. Or suddenly a storm began at the picnic. We gathered everything. We did it quickly. How do we combine these? We quickly gathered everything. We gathered everything quickly. Quickly, we gathered everything. Rain began to fall. It was heavy. How do we combine them? Heavy rain began to fall. The rain in this case is described as being heavy, like when you get a downpour. The kids stayed inside. They stayed happily. How do we combine it? The kids stayed inside happily. The kids happily stayed inside. Happily, the kids stayed inside. Good work. Thanks for practicing.